Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. There's a lot going on. We have benefits at risk of being eliminated through legislation in what I called a Trojan horse kind of effort here. Now, there is a piece on this, and I wanted to read it. This is actually from hadit.com. Again, very good, stepping up and helping to share the word on that side of the house. So I appreciate Hadit very much. And thank you, T-Bird, for jumping in on all this stuff as well. Here's my question before we jump into this. This is the Sherry Briley and Eric Edmondson Veterans Benefits Expansion Act, where essentially we're looking to increase benefits for about 500,000 veterans, also increasing dependency indemnity compensation, all great things. However, the way that this thing is proposed to be paid is by way of, well, disabled veterans. Not only looking to take benefit away from the majority of disabled veterans, but making them pay for the use of a benefit, which is the VA home loan, by way of a funding fee. So my question here, and I want you to hang on because we're going to talk through what Hadit put up here. So my question is, where are the VSOs? Where are the veteran service organizations right now, and what are their thoughts on this specific bill, HR 6047? Okay, this is the Sherry Briley and Eric Edmondson VA Benefits Expansion Act. Okay, where are they? What are their thoughts on this? I'd love to see it because at no time, this is my stance, at no time should a disabled veteran's benefits be paid for by disabled veterans. At no time should that be okay. Period. So no matter which way you slice and dice this thing, that is the reality of it. And at no time should that happen in this nation. The benefits that we have should be paid for by the American people, by taxpayers, even ourselves, right? So, I mean, we, in a weird way, we do through taxes, but it's paid for through the federal government, not directly by disabled veterans. It's ridiculous. All right, so that's my question. Where are the VSOs? Let's dive into this. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched really does help the channel. All right, so I pulled up hadit.com here, and this is the start of it here. What they're selling, it's an expansion. What they're doing, cutting benefits for 3.8 million veterans. All right, HR 6047, they're calling it an expansion while billing you for it. HR 6047 increases aid and attendance by $10,000 per year for the catastrophically injured, right? That's a great thing. And enhances DIC, COLA. It's a cost of living adjustment. Actually, it's outside of cost of living. It's an actual, just an increase, right? So they're increasing it. And both of those are good things, right? Next, it pays for this by removing the VA funding fee exemption for veterans rated 10 to 70%. That is horrific. Okay? Again, veterans benefits should never be paid for by disabled veterans, or any veteran for that matter, should not be paid for by veterans. If you rated 10 to 70% and refinance after August 1st, 2026, you'll pay $9,900 on a $300,000 loan, a fee that you wouldn't have to pay today. Total bill costs $4.5 billion over 10 years, 6 days of Pentagon spending. The fee authority runs 9 years. The DIC COLA enhancement runs 5 years. This isn't expansion. It's making disabled veterans fund other disabled veterans, which, again, should never, ever, ever happen. Reach out to your congressional members and tell them that simple statement, right? The HR 6047, you can just call it the VA Expansion Act, is a disgrace. Veterans should never pay to fund veterans benefits. Shouldn't happen. They are, let's see, this is an expansion. It's making disabled veterans fund other disabled veterans. You have 8 months to act if you're planning to refinance. And if that's the case, reach out to David Piatek. We've had him on the channel a bunch of times. He's over at VA Housing Education YouTube channel, super solid, and he can help you out with any of that information. So moving on here, it says, they care so much about us. That's BS, according to the Hadit article here. Here's what they're spinning. And again, I'm in Hadit, and I'm reading this directly, and I thank T-Bird over there for throwing this stuff together. HR 6047 landed on November 17th, 2025. It genuinely helped veterans at 100% with aid and attendance, needs, and surviving spouses receiving DIC. Good people who deserve more support, fully understand and agree. But Congress isn't putting up any new money. They're removing the VA funding fee exemption from 3.8 million veterans rated 10 to 70% and using those fees to fund the increase. That's not expansion. That's one pocket paying another. Or it's Peter robbing Paul, right? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. So here we are, right? It is Trojan horse at its best, and it's smoke and mirrors all at the same time. So if you're rated 10 to 70%, it's out of your pocket. Here's what the bill actually does. Section 2 alpha, aid and attendance. Okay, 833.33, $833.33 per month more. That's $10,000 a year more for veterans receiving aid and attendance. That is outstanding for those catastrophically injured veterans. And guess what? I support that aspect. Covers both subsections R and T, aid and attendance recipients. So it's under special monthly compensation R and T, starts December 1st, 2026. Okay, so section 2B, 2 Bravo, and I'm not sure what the starts December 1st, 2026 part is there. Maybe retroactive, I don't know. We'll see. So section 2 Bravo, enhanced DIC COLA. DIC increases track Social Security COLA plus 1%. So they're adding a 1% increase on top of the cost of living adjustment. So 3% Social Security bump for COLA plus the 1% COLA increase would be a 4% DIC increase. That would run for 5 years starting December 1st, 2026. Section 3, okay? Section 3, your fee exemption gets removed. A benefit gets eliminated, okay? And I don't care, this might seem like just a small little benefit. That's how it starts, right? Let the erosion start happening. Let it start happening, and next thing you know, you're missing out on a lot of stuff. So if you are rated 10 to 70%, you lose the VA funding fee exemption for every refinance, rate reduction, cash out, IRL, all of them. And any loan, any VA loan after your very first one. So you get one try, and then that's it. In today's world, without this legislation going into place, you could, for example, buy a house with your VA loan, sell that house, move into another house, use your VA loan, move to another place, sell that house, or even rent it out and move to another place and use your VA loan and not have to pay a VA funding fee on any of those if you have a 10% or higher rating. So it says here, this goes live August 1st, 2026 through September 30th, 2035. This pays for everything above. So again, it's not expanding anything. It's just playing a shell game, right? And it's taking from one disabled veteran and giving to the other. Or in fact, it's making one veteran pay for another. What it costs you. VA funding fee right now, first-time home buyer, zero down is a 2.15% of the loan is your funding fee. Okay. Subsequent use, 3.3%. You don't pay this now if your service connected at 10% or higher. First time buyer with 10% plus down payment, 1.25%. So these are just some examples, around, let's just use some loose numbers here. If your loan was $200,000, you're looking at a fee of probably somewhere around $6,600. At $300,000, you're looking at $9,900. At $400,000, you're looking at $13,200. Now, these would be waived if you had a 10% or higher rate. But if this legislation goes through, that's the extra money you have to spend to pay for another veteran's benefit. Again, veterans should never have to pay to provide benefits for other veterans. That's the government's job to figure that out and not put it on the backs of veterans. I'm so frustrated with this. This stunt, and I called it this before, is absolutely going to pit veterans against veterans, which is, quite frankly, what some people want to see. So read that again. If you're rated 10 to 70% and you refinance $300,000 after August, well, that's almost $10,000 out of pocket, a fee that you wouldn't have to pay today. Watch the timeline. August 1st, 2026, they start collecting fees from you. December 1st, 2026, they start paying benefits. 4 months of taking before a dollar goes out. That's what that says. All right, the math Congress isn't advertising. Aid and attendance increase $3 billion over 10 years. Enhanced DIC COLA $1.5 billion over 10 years. Combined $4.5 billion. Put that in perspective. Of annual defense spending, it's a 0.5%. Of tax cuts just entered, a 0.1%. 6 days of total Pentagon spending. But instead of appropriating it straight, they're charging 3.8 million disabled veterans loan fees for 9 years. And believe me, it won't just be 9 years. It would just go on into perpetuity. Fee collections run 9 years. Enhanced DIC COLA runs 5 years. You do the math. Who gets hit? Veterans rated between 10 to 70%. About 3.8 million of us, including serious disability, 70, 60, 50%, aren't paper cuts. Anybody who references or uses VA loan, again, pays the fee. Most people refinance every 5 to 7 years or buy a new home. Move out of the one, move into another. Veterans at 100% with A&A, aid and attendance, roughly 300,000 veterans. Real increase in support happens automatically if this passes. DIC recipients, about 440,000 surviving spouses. Better protection against inflation, also automatic. What you need to do right now, if you're rated 10 to 70%, let me tell you this, you might be underrated, don't know. You should reach out to us at Evidence-Based VA Claims. Information's in the description and in the comments, and we could do a free consultation for you, see if there is a there for a path for a higher rating. And if there is, then we'll take you on and we'll work with you so you understand all the aspects of your claim. So what you should do, you should look at your mortgage as well, right? What's your current rate? Reach out to David Piatek. What's the market offering? Got equity or cash out refi? Okay. You've got number 2 here. You've got 8 months before the fee hits. If rates drop hard and refinancing makes sense, do it before October 1st. After that date, add the funding fee into the equation. Moving on, run your actual numbers. Again, David Piatek can help you with all this. If you're planning to purchase another house, well, that's something else you need to think about as well. If you're 100% or getting DIC, benefits happen automatically if this passes, but you should know where the money is coming from. And I will say this is probably going to be the hardest thing for somebody who would be on the receiving side of the house on this to go, you know what? Congress, you're wrong. I need this increase, but I don't want it the way that you're proposing it. You need to figure it out. That's going to be a very, very hard thing to say. In my opinion, it's the right thing because we as the veteran constituency, as the veteran sphere, if you would, we need to show Congress that, look, in fact, even VA Secretary Doug Collins should be saying this and I get it. He's not supposed to lobby for or against anything, but behind closed doors, he should be saying, no, I'm not going to have my disabled veterans paying to expand benefits. That's simply wrong. Veterans should not be paying for benefits for any other veterans. So same pattern every time. Good title, sympathetic names, funding mechanisms buried on page 4. Make veterans fund veterans instead of automatically appropriating the money. Cost to fund both groups properly, $4.5 billion over 10 years. Cost of the tax cuts Congress just extended, $4 trillion over 10 years. They found money for tax cuts without a pay for veterans. Veterans pay for each other. That's the choice they're making. The hearing, what they said versus what's true. So there was the hearing that went on all of this stuff as well. The bottom line is that we need the VSOs making a louder statement on this situation. They need to be stomping on some tables, and there needs to be a hearing at both the House and the Senate committees on Veterans Affairs, and really point out the fact that whose responsibility is it to provide veteran benefits? Not disabled veterans, I'll tell you that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.